Hello and welcome, family, to another episode of Role Model Makers Experts Cafe. I'm your host, Dr. L, the Parent Whisperer, and today with me I have another amazing expert that's in our community, Miss Allana Foster. Did I say that correctly, Allana? I
Yes, you
just wanted
did.
to make sure. Very cool. All right. So, Allana, you have been in our community. You are a rising star, and I see you, and I love your message. So, can you tell our audience members a little bit more about what you do and how you got involved doing what you do?
Yes, so I am an intuitive energy healer and an animal communicator. I've been doing this work professionally since about 2015, but I've always had a connection with animals and wild animals and nature. I probably about a good 20 years ago was like, what should I do when I get to an age where I can no longer or don't want to be doing my original job, which is I've been a cosmetologist since I was about 19 years old. And so I started looking at like my skills. What are my skills? And I realized that as unconventional as it might seem, these are my skills. I have generational intuitive people in my life, psychic medium people, grandmothers, my mother. And so it just felt kind of like something that I wanted to pursue on a professional level. And then I have always had dogs up until right now, on purpose, giving myself a break to just kind of shift my own energy around animals, the animals in my home. So I've had what really started me on the path was some of the animals that I've had where they needed me to be 100% there in my energy, and how important it was for our family and for their health. So that just led me down the path to start, getting education around these subjects. My first thing that brought me to energy healing was Reiki. So I got my first certification in 2008 at Golden West College here in California, excuse me, with an amazing teacher who was in your group, Timothy Stewart's. And that led me down a beautiful path of learning about my own abilities, stronger abilities, in my intuitive connection. And then animal communication came along, and I started to study that. And as soon as that came in, that was like an open door. Like that opened everything to me because they want to connect with us. They have a voice, but they have no voice. And so part of my passion is to be a voice for the voiceless, and helping people and families understand that about their pets. There's people who, will say, well, I don't believe in that or whatever, but they'll tell me, oh, me and my cat, my cat tells me, this and that, we have this connection and we don't even realize what we're really doing. So I appreciate that. And so that's part of my goal with my work is to help people understand and open up their innate connections with animals and their own intuitive abilities,
I
because
love
we
it.
all have them.
Yeah, a lot of times when we talk about families and we are a family advocacy group, many of the things that come to people's minds are grandparents, parents, possibly educators or custodians, and then the children. But oftentimes we leave pets and animals and we forget about it. As you mentioned, children especially are a lot more intuitive and they're a lot more connected to the energies, and they also vibrate and resonate to that energy level to their pets as well. So I can see the importance of this because to them it's much bigger of a family member than most of the grown-ups realize, that your child has a special bond as if they would have it with a brother or sister with
Right.
their animals, maybe sometimes even more closely with them.
Yes.
So it's important for us to address that need, because psychologically that's part of our identity. The people around us, the animals around us, basically, they're part of our identity, basically. So thank you for bringing this important topic to the parents' attention. So what are some of the typical challenges and concerns that you hear about and you kind of shows up at your doorstep?
So, one of the things that we forget about with animals is when we have transitions in our family. So, transitioning into a new home. You're uprooting an animal from a home that they're used to, an environment that they're used to, bringing in a new family member like a baby, a roommate. That's a big transition for animals. And then also, divorce or split, a family split, and also death. These are big transitions. So a lot of people come to me in these transition times to not only help their animal, but to also help their family. The other thing is, unusual behavior. Like if the animal starts to have some unusual behavior, which people would, maybe they're thinking, oh, something's wrong with my pet, or, they're being bad, or, whatever it is. But a lot of times it's really tied up in us, and what's going on with the family. And that's a huge part of the energy component of what it is that I share with people, is managing your own emotions and your energy and being mindful of that, and what you bring into the home and how you are with others, in your family. And also transition. People come to me when their pets are transitioning, from this life to the next life, to death, and how big of a deal that is, and how we tend to, we know it's a big deal. We go through grief and mourning, but leading up to that, there's an opportunity to really bond with your pet even more, and to understand the natural, that's a natural process in all of our lives. So and also vet procedures. Just throw that in there. If they're going to have a procedure, before and after, to help them, to with the healing of that. And then also people come to me if they have lost pets. So that's kind of an interesting place to be, finding their pets.
Now, what are some of the things that the tips that you would have for audience members as far as things that they can implement or kind of utilize to kind of better incorporate this into their family life?
So I'm going to say the first thing is, like I had already mentioned, was being mindful of your own energy, and that, if that's a foreign subject to someone, and I think we all know that, we use that word a lot. People use that word a lot. To understand that you have the ability to calm yourself down, to stop, to clear your mind. So, we don't have to get into a major meditation state, but the idea of calming yourself down, being present with your family, with your pets, that whole idea of them wanting to come and be with you. They're like a child, to the touch, taking the time to be present with them and to watch their behavior. These are easy things. If we have a hard time calming ourselves down, there are tools. One of them being emotional freedom technique, which I think has gotten way popular in the last decade, which is, people know it as tapping. And so it helps with changing, like almost instantly, your the meridians in your body. It's sort of a form of acupressure, but it's a bioenergy field modality that helps to calm us down. And you can go farther with that to help, release trapped emotions and all that kind of stuff. But it's so simple to be in a space where you come into your home, you just settle yourself down by a nice big breath. If you're familiar with tapping, you can do some tapping. It doesn't take much time. But just the idea of settling down and focusing on being in the now, that's huge, especially with animals, because they're all about being in the present.
Beautiful. Now, this is something that can also get a lot deeper, especially when you got psychology and emotions and everything. I
Yes.
know that in our household, we have a dog and a cat, and the cat does not like arguments. And he gets very aggressive when people are being aggressive in their conversations. I'm definitely vouch for how energy levels and how you show up affects your pets. How can people connect with you more to kind of A, address the pet side of things, and B, also utilize the pets as a gauge or a measuring as far as what's going on in the house as well?
Yeah, so I'm offering simple introduction to animal communication. I'm considering doing this once a month because I think it's that important. So that would be a free workshop for an hour. My first one, it will be this first of the month, August 1st. But I think I'm going to do that on an ongoing basis, just for, like I said, an introduction so people know that this is available to them. But people can go to my website. That's where I've got everything. It's intuitiveheartstudio.com. Everything is there. I also, in my blog, I try to put in, well, I put in tips and different resources that people can utilize to learn things like EFT, learn more about animal communication. And so that's the best place to get a hold of me.
Good. So, guys, I have a lot of stuff from Alana that she has graciously provided. I will be adding all of those to the description box below. So please make sure you take the time to pause this, go below, and check out those links and the resources that she has given us, and make sure that you connect with her. The bigger part of this is also the fact that we need to show our family, show our kids that the world is not a scary place, that there are good people generally interested in making it a better place, and that we don't have all the answers, and it's okay to connect, it's okay to reach out for help, and we need to role model that behavior for them. So make sure that you do that. If you haven't already done so, also click like and subscribe to our channel so you get notified of all the experts that come in here, sharing their expertise and their gifts, such as Alana has, and connect with them. Before we finish, Alana, any final words of wisdom for our audience members today?
Take the time to go outside. Take the time to go outside, listen to the birds, close your eyes, hear them, try to identify. Birds are easy, they're everywhere. All areas have different bird species that, come in. You can, if you pay more attention, you've got migration that happens. And take deep breaths. And it's the most amazing way to shift up our energy and connect with ourselves and Mother Nature.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
Until next
you.
time, guys. Cheers.
Bye-bye.